ओमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। So everyone can see my screen? Yes, okay. So let's start. So we are in the one of the most important sections of Bhagavad Gita. We are doing the Chaturshloki. So last week we finished only one verse. Last week we did 3 verses of Chaturshloki. So let's do a quick revision and then we'll get inside the rest of the chapter. I see Vijay Gopi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
I thought we can start 10.9 from you, if that's
Yes.
okay.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Translation. The thoughts of my pure devotee dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So here you were telling about the 2 benefits, the Abhidaya and the Prayojana covered in this verse. And also you were explaining about the meaning of Chitta. Chitta is like here Prabhupada translates, Mat Chitta is their mind fully engaged. So Chitta you have given like 2 definition. One is mind and the one is like a mind which is, which is outer covering of thing. Like you were explaining about the iceberg example, like only you can see like if you see the iceberg like only 20% you can see outside, so that is called manas. And the main part of the iceberg is which is inside submerged in the sea is like around 80%. That is which is the deep down, is that subconscious mind, subconscious thing in our thing, which is called the chitta. And here prana is refers to the life air, the breathe, or sometimes it is also prana is Prabhupada mentioned sometimes as body as well. And bodhayanta is not only speaking but it also refers to preaching as well. So whenever the devotees meet each other, they just speak about Krishna. They always think about Krishna and they speak with each other only about Krishna. You were also mentioning like some of the new devotees, they get bored when they keep hearing the same thing again and again when during the class. Okay, I've already heard this, but devotees would never get bored. A real devotee will always relish whatever we speak about Krishna even multiple times. For example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu keeps hearing about Prahlad stories in Srimad Bhagavatam 1,000 times again and again. So pure devotees will never get bored when they keep hearing Krishna multiple times. And you also given another example um, like if we don't get bored eating 4 or 5 times a day, but like sometimes new devotees, they may get bored to hear Krishna story again. I mean, if it is repeated in the class, they get, oh, already I've heard this, so I don't need to hear about this. So that is the one of the characteristic of a pure devotees. They keep bodhayanta is like they keep speaking and hearing about Krishna always, and like the kathayantas is like talking about Krishna. And so you also told about the Bhajanandi and Goshtanandi. They follow the Krishna Bhajanandis, they follow the Krishna conscious properly, but they can't preach. Whereas Goshtanandi, they not only follow, but they also preach properly. So, and so here the Priyojana part is like they are satisfied with the current position. And you were giving about the example of Radha Raman as well. Radha Raman, the Raman means it's never leaving, which is representing the Madhya Rasa form of Krishna. So which is Radha Raman. So here it's always mentions about the characteristic of a pure devotee. So they always get satisfied with the talking about Krishna, and they always get bliss by enlightening one another and conversing about Krishna.
Thanks, Prabhuji. Just one thing maybe someone else can add. What's the relation between 10.8 and 10.9?
Is it Abhideya and Prayojana?
Yep, so that's represented by this verse. That's correct. So Abhideya is the process. So we're talking about the process here. Bodhyanta parasparam kathyanta shamam nityam. That's correct. And the result is Tushyanticha Ramanticha. That's definitely correct. And my question is, what's the relation between 10.8 and 10.9? Anyone?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, 10.8 talks about Krishna, the source of everything. From him everything comes, and then those who worship from him. So that's about the devotional service, what they do. So those who are engaged in his worship, about them it is spoken. And this 10.9 talks about symptoms of such devotees who worship.
Yes. So basically 10.8 gives a summary that those Buddha Bhav, those who are intelligent Bhav Samanvita, they offer their heart to Krishna. And then how does that happen? That's explained in next 3 verses. So step by step, we're talking about those people who are following the process. And then the first verse talks about first verse and first line. You can say from 9 to 11. First line, the process, and the second is the result. So initially what devotees do, that's explained in 9, and 10 and 11 will explain what Krishna will do on top of that. So it's a two-way process. It's not just, a servant is working for the master, but here even master is working for the servant, and servant is obviously working. So here, for example, in this verse, what a devotee does is being explained. And what will be explained in 10 and 11, what Krishna does to that devotee. So it's a very beautiful categories here. Another important thing, prana. The verse prana is there, and this prana can be interpreted in different ways. Mataji is talking about life here. So what is the life here of a devotee? Prana bodhayantaha. Preaching is the life of a devotee. Prabhupada said, if you are not preaching, you are not. If you have life, you have to preach. So prana refers to, so many devotees think, I'm doing 16 rounds and sort of I'm doing okay. That's fine. But actually, as per this verse, your prana is in bodhayantaha, or at least in katha. Kathayanta shamam nityam. So devotees are so much eager to hear katha, they just cannot live without katha. And you would have experienced that in our houses. I feel sometimes when the lecture stops, sometimes the advertisements come like, oh, stop this advertisement, lecture. And then the speaker will say, okay, we are running late now, so let's stop the class. And it's like, why we have to stop the class? Just carry on. So obviously we are not there, but a glimpse of it we can see. Sometimes we get so much absorbed in kirtan or katha. When the person who's doing katha stops the katha, it's like, Arey, why you have to stop the katha? Because a devotee's prana is katha. And when they hear the katha, what do? When the neophyte meets, bodhayantaha, they speak about Krishna. They don't speak about, I'm so great, my country is so great, my community is so great. They say Krishna is so great. So in different aspects of the same principle of Krishna and his devotees, bodhayanta parasparam. They are so much into, and Ramanti. So Mataji also talking about Ramanti word, Radha Raman. What else we can get from a devotee perspective?
Prabhu, I think you also spoke about body, mind, and words. So you spoke about BMW.
BMW, yeah.
Yeah. So you can, because it speaks, this verse says, Mad Chitta, then Mad Gata, then Mad Prana. So mind is there, then Mad Gata life, body itself is there. And so we are actually using the body, mind, and words in his service.
Thank you, Mata. Very nice. Raman means one more sort of deeper meaning of Raman. What does Raman mean, and what does Raman mean in perspective of devotees? So we can start from Radha Raman, as Mataji was explaining. So what does Radha Raman means? Who's
You
going
never
around
take-
Srimati Radharani,
Giving pleasure to Radha.
Yeah.
giving pleasure and getting pleasure by going around Srimati Radharani. कहते वो छोड़ते ही नहीं है. You know, they're little kids. They will always go around the mother. And mother sometimes say, "Arey yaar, go outside and play. You know, give me a break." But kids are always going round and round and round because they get so much pleasure. And actually, mother also gets a lot of pleasure, mother or father. So it's like that devotee and Krishna are inseparable, inseparable. They'll just go round and round and round in Krishna. And Krishna never say, you know, get out, do something else, give me a break. But devotees get so much Raman. And Krishna gets the pleasure, devotees also get the pleasure. And eventually, it represents the Madhurya Bhav as well, as Mataji was discussing earlier. Now, one more thing, in 10.8, we just scroll back. That's one thing we'll say, and then we'll move forward. Yeah, forgot to mention, so I thought better. So the last line, Buddha Bhav Samanvitaha. So what does Bhav mean here? Charu Mataji can probably explain that Bhava. Or anyone else. Bhav.
Bhava means
Yes, Mataji.
the love for Krishna and
Yes.
you know, the feeling of doing excellent service or
Yes.
going beyond our limits. That bhava is there, not just for the sake of doing it, just expanding your service.
Yeah,
That
so it's not just emotion, I'm being emotional for you or nothing like that. Bhava is, you're saying, Mataji, doing something extraordinary for Krishna. And that extraordinary things can be expressed for Krishna in 5 stages. They are the 5 sthai bhava. And those bhavas are Dasya, Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vasalya, and eventually Madhurya. So this bhava actually refers to all those categories of devotees which serve Krishna in different bhavas. Some are happy in Shantras, like the grass of the Vaikuntha Loka. It says when the Krishna or devotee steps on the grass, they feel so satisfied. And Dasya, we can take the example of say Hanumanji. Sakhya can be different sakhas in Vrindavan or Arjun. Vatsalya Mother Yashoda, she's so happy serving Krishna in that way. And then we have other gopis and Srimati Radharani eventually, which is serving Krishna with bhava, and that bhava is Madhurya bhava. So either bhava actually represents everything. That's why they say this verse is the crux of everything. And the next one is the expansion. How does it expand? So what devotees do and what Krishna do. That's what we are discussing. Okay. 10.10. Now here also the one line represents devotees from devotees' perspective, one line represents from Krishna's perspective. Who would like to say?
I can do it, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
So, Prabhuji, in 10.10, we discussed about Satat Yukta Nam. These are the 2 important words here. Yukta Nam means intelligence and best in basically having the feeling of doing a service, but at the same time, as we discussed that bhava, that having the feeling of doing the excellent service to Krishna and never getting satisfied or content with whatever you are doing. You always have a feeling that you're doing less for Krishna and doing more and more for Krishna, and doing in such a way that it gets recognized. Like for example, you gave an example that they have a feeling that to get recognized, but they do it with so much love that that service or that a particular thing for Krishna, that bhava for Krishna gets recognized by other people. For example, you mentioned that you gave an example of Divya Mataji as well, that to Bhakti Rasami Swami, she presented in such a beautiful way, and we always see that her bhava is so nice. So she not only make delicious prasadam, but she put so much heart and soul into that she makes it presentable as well. And rather, Bhakti Rasamrita Swamiji was saying, should I eat or should I just have a look at it?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yes, and also you gave another example that
Just Mother, just
Jiva Goswami.
on that one, very nice point. So that's called yukti. So devotees are serving Krishna with yukti, not just serving Krishna. Huh? We are serving our boss as well in the office, but that's not with yukti. Generally,
Yes.
what we do, whatever the least delivery is needed, we do that. Huh? Whatever
Yes.
least is needed. Anything else, we say out of scope. Next
Yes.
project, raise another SR. This is out of scope. We can't work within that. And they will raise another SR. The time is extended, and devotees get extra time to read Bhagavad Gita or the work. But here it's yukti. This word is very, very important. So we are not just serving Krishna out of, oh, I have to go to temple, I have to, help in the kitchen or something. No, yukti. What can I do better for Krishna? So if we do with yukti, and next line is, yes, Mataji.
And also you mentioned that heart. So we are putting heart and to our complete heart to that service, and take the guidance of our acharyas and our gurus. And we, even if we are feeling inconvenience, we should still do it. We should, even if it is inconvenient for us, we should still do it. We should just follow the path which our guru is giving it to us.
Yeah. And if we have problem, too many inconveniences, what do? We quit the seva, right?
No, we still
No?
do it.
We still
We
do it,
still do
okay.
it. We keep doing it, and ask Krishna, just, I want to do it, and you just help me.
Yeah.
And just keep doing it, whatever you could. And one day we would go into the
Yeah.
perfection as well.
Yeah.
But we never
So
quit the service.
we
Never
quit.
ever
We
quit.
can talk about with our seniors. I have some difficulty. That's perfectly fine. You have some practical difficulty or some other problems, you can definitely take guidance. Keshav Maharaj was saying the instructions of spiritual master can be delayed, but they can never be denied. They can be delayed. Our life situation may be different. Like Prabhupada at the time when he got the first order from Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj in 1922, when Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said, go and preach the message of Lord Chaitanya in English language in the Western countries. That time, Prabhupada could not immediately take and execute the instruction. He took the instruction, could not execute it immediately. And it says he was working for next 35 years to execute that instruction. Satsvarup Maharaj writes a book, The Lifetime of Preparation. So Prabhupada was working practically his whole life to be able to execute that one instruction of his Guru Maharaj. So the instructions can be delayed because we may have in a different situation of life at this time, but instruction can never be denied. So if we take the instruction in our heart and keep praying to Krishna, to our seniors, to our spiritual master, that please help me to fulfill your desire, the help will come. Now, if we deny it, no, I can't do it. Who I am to do it, Why is he telling me? Does he not know my family situation, my health situation, this and that? No. So if we take the instructions in that mood, obviously, we are, my Guru Maharaj said, we are stopping the mercy to come. As soon as we say no to the instructions, we are stopping the mercy to come. If the instruction is coming, that means spiritual master knows about it, who is eligible and who is not. My spiritual master said, even the spiritual master is talking in jokes, disciples should not take it jokingly. A spiritual master is talking in joking language, humorous language, everyone is laughing in the room. Disciples should not take it jokingly. Oh, it's just a joke. No, in joke as well, the spiritual master is giving instruction. So we should seriously, attentively hear it and then do as best as possible. If we have problems, we should take guidance. I'm not able to do it because of 1, 2, and 3 reasons. Please help me. And they will further guide us. But it should not be denied. Thank you, Mata. Please continue.
In the second line, Prabhuji, it mentioned Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mama Upayanti Te. Mam Upayanti Te. So the Krishna says, then I give them intelligence. If the devotee is trying to please Krishna and doing all the service, then Krishna gives the buddhi or the intelligence to do that service and come to me. So Krishna will give that intelligence.
So many times devotees say, I don't know what Krishna wants me to do in this situation. Why Krishna doesn't come in front of me, appear, talk to me, this and that. Many times we have this. I also had. had and have and all those things. But the problem is not with Krishna. Krishna can appear in front of us anytime. He's actually sitting right here and listening to all of us. The problem is with what? The first line. We don't do the first line and we blame Krishna or someone else. It's not happening. I'm not getting enough intelligence. I'm really stuck, which you may be, not denying that. But you should look at our part, because I'm not able to do his bhajan with yukti satat. Satat means constantly. And I'm not doing with Preeti. Maybe I'm doing my sevas, I'm doing my chanting. How many are doing chanting with Preeti? I don't know. I'm not. Maybe all of you are doing with a lot of Preeti in your heart. So many times, we are all mechanical, finishing our rounds. I saw someone chanting in a meeting as well, like Hare Krishna meeting, obviously. Like, how can you do the meeting as well as chant at the same time? So people are doing it, and that's okay to start with, but that should not continue. And if this Preeti word comes, this Satat word come, Yukta word come in our devotion life, then what will happen? Krishna will make himself available to you. Once Prabhupada was asked, have you seen Krishna? Prabhupada said, yes, I can see Krishna as good as I see you. That's a big statement, huh? I can see Krishna as good as I see you. I can talk to Krishna as good as I talk to you. Once he was asked, how do you know what's in Krishna's mind? Samar Krishna Maharaj, who was present there, he sort of said to the question's response, we look in the scriptures. Prabhupada said, no, we don't look in the scriptures. Then how do you know what Krishna likes? What was the response of Prabhupada? I just ask. Yes. Like, wow, that's great. I just ask Krishna. That is Prabhupada. That is Prabhupada. So it's a very, very high position. But the point here which Prabhupada is making, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yen, Krishna will inspire you within what needs to be done and what not needs to be done if we follow the first line nicely. Okay.
Prabhu, can I say something?
Sure, Mataji.
Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, you know how he plays with words so beautifully.
Yeah.
And in somewhere, I think in one of his websites, he's just mentioned that Buddhi Yoga has actually two meanings.
Yes.
It says Buddhi, that helps us to do the yoga, or Yog, that grants us the Buddhi. And he then goes on to explain both the things. They actually kind of same, but not quite. So Buddhi, that gives us, which helps us do the yogasana, is trying to do things that take us towards Krishna and not doing things that take us away from Krishna. And then Krishna, when you constantly keep doing that, whether you like it or not, but you just, because you're following the process, you do that, then Krishna will automatically give you the Buddhi to come towards him and to start liking the things that take you towards him. And the other one was yoga, which grants the Buddhi. It's again following a process, again similar to this. So just following the process that is just, it's sadhana bhakti, basically just doing the process slowly. You like that yoga, you come to like that yoga as well, and Krishna ultimately will grant you the Buddhi to do everything. And if you choose to digress, then he also gives you the forgetfulness.
Yes, which is definitely true. No, thank you. I also heard something like that. Thank you, Mataji, for sort of adding that. Very nice. He's very good. Buddhi Yoga. Also, actually, I just remembered, Mataji, when you were telling about Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, he has said in one of the classes somewhere, he said the Buddhi Yoga word in Bhagavad Gita before 10.10 is used in which verse? 239, actually. Eshate Bita Sankhe Buddhi Yoga Tumam Sharanu.
Yes.
239 also has the same word, but he's explaining the depth here is deeper than 239. There's so much in each word. They are so much loaded. Loaded. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji, for adding that. Satyama Mataji, you want to add something else? I think I got your message.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
No.
That's it, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Let's move to the last one in Chatur Shloki. Sakhi Radhika Mataji, would you like to?
Okay, Prabhuji. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So here it is the extension of 10.10 where Krishna is saying how I give them intelligence. So Tesham here is those devotees in like 10.10 Eva Anukampa. And we discussed about Anukampa as like you told us 3 things about apathy, sympathy, and empathy. Here you were telling that Krishna gives special mercy, and that mercy is like I take away the darkness. Like here, the tama is darkness born of ignorance, and nashyami, I kill that ignorance, and within their heart. So for ignorance, it was you were telling that when ignorance is when we are not connected to our constitutional position. That's what I remember, Prabhu. That's what I have got notes of.
No, that's okay. We can just go a little word by word. So Anukampa, as you were telling Mataji, 3 words we discussed. So which one we are talking here? Anyone else can sort of say? Anukampa, the word itself says the meaning.
Empathy, are we talking about empathy?
Yes. So if you can translate sort of in Hindi, Anukampa. Kampa means kampan.
Shaking. Yeah.
Shaking. So why are you shaking? Why Krishna is
Prabhuji,
he feels so much in his heart, so much in his heart. You start shaking. Some loved ones of yours in the hospital, you know, in Hindi movies they show hero got shot with 15 bullets or something, and the whole family is like, what whole family? Whoever is watching the movie, they will make the scene like that, music like that. Everyone is looking. Oh my God, what's happening on the screen? Ding 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 ding. And you see the line is going straight, and everyone is sort of kampan. Huh? So when your heart is shaking out of others' pida, not your pida, others' pida. So here who's doing Anukampa? Krishna is doing that Anukampa, that these jivas are suffering so much. So Krishna had the real Anukampa. Do we have Anukampa? We do have Anukampa on ourselves. In mostly it says eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. We do a lot of Anukampa. Acha khao, acha so. Eat good, sleep well, just relax. So, but that's not Anukampa. That's not Anukampa. So Krishna is doing this Anukampa. And how does he do that? As you're explaining, as if there's a dark room for millions of years, there's no light there. So how long will it take to drive this darkness away from the room? How long will it take? 1 second, isn't it? You switch on the light. Now, if instead of switching on the light, you start abusing the darkness. Oh, darkness, you are so bad, you rascal, you cruel, this and that, and you take a sword in your hand and try to cut the darkness. Can you do all that? Will it work? It won't work. Darkness will just laugh at us. But if you switch on the light in 1 second, you don't have to do anything. You switch on the light. And who's switching on the light? Guru, the spiritual master, who's again representative of Krishna. They are switching on the light. So, aham agyana jam tama. So, tama is our heart. Heart is full of this darkness, kal kotri. There's so many anarthas are there. And why? Because of Ajnana. Ajnana, as Mataji was saying, disconnection with Krishna. So what I do, Nashyami. I destroy that. And how do I destroy? Jnana Deepena. I light a deepak. I light a lamp there. And what's that lamp? Not a physical lamp. You get a matches, you get a giga diya, and then you put inside your heart. And what is that giga diya? Jnana. So when jnana comes, knowledge comes, ajnana is automatically gone. And Krishna is doing that out of Anukampa. Can you demand Krishna? Krishna, Putana went to you with poison. That's what she offered to Krishna. I am every day, offering some fruits and flowers and some pani, some water. Why you're not treating as fast as you treated Putana? If you have a demanding attitude in devotional life, it will never work. What attitude you should have? Which verse says what attitude you should have in devotional life? 434. Tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena sevya obdekshanite jnana jnanina satdarshana. So what attitude we should have? Submissive attitude. If you have demanding attitude, the devotional life will not go so far. You can become very intelligent and you may think, I know more than my spiritual master. Okay, in physical knowledge, you may know few more verses than your spiritual master, but does it know you can live on those verses? You've realized the verses? So physical knowledge is not going to impress Krishna. So Jnana Deepena Bhasata. So when we realize that I am the eternal servant of Krishna and the service of Krishna is my life and soul, then your journey actually begins, they say. Okay, let's move forward to the next one. So we'll talk about the connection first in Chaturshloki and these two verses, and then we'll sort of dive inside the verses. Tanya Mataji, you want to do something apart?
Yes, Prabhuji. So my understanding is that in these two, in 12 and 13, Arjuna is giving his conclusion. He understood. It's almost like you said. It's the end of Bhagavad Gita.
Yep.
Like, so he has heard the main sar of Gita, and he has no more doubts. Although he does ask a question later, but this is when he understands everything.
Yeah. So why is he asking more questions?
For the understanding of others.
Thank you. It's called Lokahita. Lokahita means I don't have a question, but I ask the question so everyone else around me can also find the answer. Sometimes, many new devotees are sitting, new people are sitting in the class, and some very senior devotee will ask a very basic question.
Yeah.
They will ask the question not for themselves, they already know the answer, but many other people are sitting in the class. So they sort of present that sort of mentality to clarify their doubts because they're not going to ask. So Arjuna is asking these questions on behalf of us, living entity, from this 10.11 to 18.63 or something. Thank you, Mataji.
So the first, so as the translation, Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me." So the first couple of words, Param Brahma and Param Dhama. So Arjuna is saying that that Krishna is Param Brahma, and what you mentioned is that our consciousness when we say Param Brahma should be right, because to some extent we're all but like to some extent we're all Brahma.
We are all Brahma. Yes,
Yeah,
we're all
Brahma, but it's about quantity and quality. So quantitatively, quantitatively we're not the same as quantitatively we are, qualitatively we're not. Sorry, I'm messing it up.
Qualitatively, we are same. And a simple example, Mataji, a drop of ocean water is also representing the ocean qualities. If you have to test the whole ocean, how much is the salt, how much is HCl, and blah blah blah. So you just test few drops. You're not going to take the whole ocean. But quantitatively, you're having 5 drops of that ocean water, but ocean is huge. So we are like that tiny drop of quantity, which is Krishna.
Yeah. So we're not quantitatively the same as him because Krishna is supreme. Then he's Param Dhama, he is the ultimate abode. And then Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. So Pavitram Paramam is he's supremely Pavitra, pure. And Bhavan, you said, is basically saying you, but with respect, like up. That's what Bhavan is. Purusham.
Sorry, Mataji, can we expand Pavitra a little bit more? What does Pavitra mean? So obviously pure, definitely.
Yeah.
He's supremely pure. What does it mean? He has no contamination. And what does contamination refer to? 3 modes of material nature. So sometimes, many good people are around, they're vegetarian, they don't hurt anyone, blah, blah, blah. They're in mode of goodness. Are they contaminated?
Yes. Even if you're in mode of goodness, you're still
contaminated
under the material.
Yes. So even some people in mode of goodness, they're also, because sometimes goodness can also change into passion and ignorance, and just like a cycle. We'll read in 14th chapter. But Krishna is beyond all that. Not only beyond all that, he's the source of all that. 7:13. So that is Pavitra, as well as he's not only Pavitra himself, whoever comes in touch with him becomes also Pavitra. Now we don't have that quality. Or you can understand like that if Prabhupada also talked about it. If you are a drunkard and someone associates with you with heart, what will happen? You will also become drunkard. So whatever your qualities are, if someone associates with you with heart, the qualities will get exchanged. And that's why I say if you associate with good people, you become good. If you associate with bad people, you become bad. So Krishna is such a person. He is not only Pavitra himself, whoever comes in touch with Krishna, Krishna Naam, Krishna Katha, Krishna Seva, anything related to Krishna, he will also get purified. So that's the power of Krishna. That's why he's called Supreme Pavitra. Very, very pure. And Dhama refers to, so Supreme Abode is one, yes, shelter, Supreme Shelter. He's a supreme shelter of everyone all the time. So sometimes, when children are small, mothers are their shelter. When the children becomes 20, they still take the shelter of mother as good as they used to take when they were 2? Thoda sa elderly mothers can tell me if I'm wrong. We have Vijay Gopi Mataji, Charu Mataji smiling at me. When children are very young, Mama, Papa, they will come and hug you, embrace you. Any problem comes, even a cheaty dies, they will come and embrace you. And Mama will say, it's all right, beta, it's all right. When they become 20, Mama expects them to come and hug me. And they will go and, do something else. And Mama will say, why my boy is not listening me or girl? So, supreme shelter. And many times children don't come and take shelter. Many times mothers are not able to give shelter. When Dhruv Maharaj went to his mother, what mother said? Beta, I understand your problem, but I cannot solve your problem. The only person who can solve your problem is that supreme shelter. So go to Vishnu. He will be able to solve your problem. So she was a guru. She sort of accepted openly. When demigods went to Brahmaji in 10th canto and said, we have problem, Brahmaji said, even I can't solve the problem. Let's go to my shelter and let's pray. So they all went to Shri Vishnu. So Krishna is supreme shelter in all the conditions. We are not. We are very, very, very tiny. Thank you, Mata. Next line.
Purusham Shashvatam Divyam. So Purusham here is like a personal address to Krishna. And Shashvatam means that he is eternal and he is
One minute, sorry. So are we Purusha? How many Purushas are in this call? I'm counting it. There are 10 or 12, or there's only like females are called Purusha. We are all Purusha. Sorry. Purusha is not some bodily resignation. Like bodily resignation is very low level thing. Like someone is wearing a black jacket, blue jacket. I'm wearing this black jacket. That's not what we are talking about. Purusha means, what does Purusha mean? So there's a Purusha and Prakriti. Purusha means enjoyer. We have
aren't we Prakriti?
Yes, but I'm saying we feel like that, isn't it? Are we not feeling like Purusha? Like I want to do bhoga. I am the bhogi. Isn't that the problem? Ishwaroham Balavan Sukhi. So we all have, at least up to an extent, I can say, there are many great devotees as well on the call, but we all have this Purusha mentality. Purusha means bhoga mentality. I need to enjoy. If any transactions we do, hame kya milega? what I am going to get. That's the bottom line of it. So whether we are in a female body or male body, regardless, we have Purusha mentality. But are we Purusha? No, as you said, we are Prakriti. We are to be enjoyed by Krishna. Like a hand. Is hand the bhokta or the stomach is the bhokta? Who is the bhokta? And hand can say, leg can say, I've been working so hard. Leg is walking and hand is working in the kitchen for 2 hours, making sabji and pizza and whatnot. And who takes, tummy doesn't do anything, but tummy eats everything. So hand can, rebel against the tummy. Arey, tummy, why are you eating everything? Today I'll eat. Eyes just rebellion to the tummy. And eye says, I'll take the juice of rasgulla. And ear say, I'll take the dal. And nose will say, I'll take the dal makhani. What will happen to the body? Go to RNS, or I'm not sure. So tummy has to be the bhokta. So Hath cannot say, the hand cannot say, I will become bhokta from today. Tummy, I'm leaving you. You have been king for a long time. From tomorrow onwards, I will be the king. I will become the bhokta. Okay, you can try. You can try. So Krishna has to be a bhokta. We have to be Prakriti. Very good combination. When hand puts the roti or rice in the mouth, Tummy takes it, and tummy gives energy to the hand. Tummy gives energy to the legs. So that's the best way. Similarly, we are all having this feeling of Purusha, but we are not Purusha. Krishna is the Purusha. Purusham Shashvatam. And how long he's been Purusha? Shashvatam. Shashvat. That's the arrangement. Okay, Divyam.
Divyam means transcendental.
Yeah.
Adi Devam is the beginning of all the devas.
Yes. He's a source, you can say. Source
Yeah,
of all the devas.
source of all the devas. And Ajam means unborn.
Are
you
we
said-
unbound? Are we Aja? All of us
No.
sitting on the call? No? We are. We are all Aja. From a soul's perspective, we are all
No.
Aja.
Yeah, but we all have an expiry date. That's all.
For the body.
Yeah.
For the body. But from soul's perspective, we are all Aja. But are we Vibhu? That's the next question. So it's a Vibhu and Anu. There are two questions. We are Anu, Krishna is Vibhu. Vibhu mane bada. Very, very big. So Krishna is very, very big. We are very, very tiny. So Ajam, we are all Ajam actually. From soul's perspective, we are also Aja. We are never born. So soul doesn't have a date of birth. Body has, obviously, and body will have data expiry, which soul doesn't have. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice. Thank you, Mata. Maybe someone else can do the next one. Anyone who has not spoken as yet. Jayaprakash Prabhu is ready. Or you just unmuted?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
This is 13, right, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So in this, Lord is further explaining, like some of the great sages such as Narada, Asita, and Devala, they've already declared that he is the supreme truth and he is the supreme reality. But again, I think it has been clarified that he himself is declaring it. So Arjuna has kind of stating that since Krishna himself has told, it has to be truth. And even though we might not be like knowledgeable, but gradually with the Lord's mercy, we'll slowly reveal that to the devotees, whoever takes the shelter of the Lord.
Yeah. What's the context of this verse? Why this verse has been put here? So correct sort of meaning, which is fine. What's the context?
So before that, Arjuna is glorifying the Lord because he's convinced now that Lord is the supreme truth and he's Parabrahma. So even for others to understand that it is not only his own words, rather it has been spoken by the great rishis, and also Lord himself has declared it earlier. So for others also to get benefit out of that, he is none other than the supreme reality and supreme truth.
Otherwise, if two friends are speaking, one friend can say, oh, you are the best tennis player in the whole world. And the first one will say, yes, very, very, very true. You have identified me correctly. But no tennis player in the whole world knows this person. So is this statement very, very true, very authoritative? No, the two friends are talking, they're joking with each other. They're saying, oh, you are the best in cricket, you are the best in tennis. And both make each other the best superstar in their own field. That's all right. It has no meaning. But here what Arjun is saying is been backed up by the authorities in their field, like Narada, Vyasa, Deval. They are the authorities in their field. And they are also saying the same thing. And now he's saying, Swayam Chaiva Brahma. You also said the same thing. So this is definitely true. So very significant, actually. Whenever we say something, Prabhupada said, we should know our Vedic literature like a lawyer knows the law books. So we should not be just saying the thing, we should be quoting the shlokas. 10.11 says like that, 7.7 says like that. This is why Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Once Radhavan Maharaj was giving a lecture and he was asked, so what, in your opinion, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Someone in Hindi asked Maharaj, so aap kya sochte hain? What do you think? And Maharaj said, this is how he started. What is the value of my opinion? He said, what is the value of my opinion? We have to take the opinion of Acharyas. Like his Maharaj is very authoritative, but out of humility he's saying, what is the value of my opinion? So many times we may have our opinions. They actually have not much value. What we have to do, go to the Shastra, go to the Rishis, go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and whatever they say, that is valuable. Not that what I say is valuable. Maharaj said, what is the value of my opinion? You should look at the opinion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ishwar Puri, Madhvendra Puri, Ramanujacharya, Shastra, Vashishta Rishi, Vishwam. They are the authorities. If they are saying something, it must be true. So Maharaj was just explaining the point here. So this is very significant in proving something. We have to take the assistance of the previous higher authorities. Okay, let's move forward. I will not revise all this. I think we already done it. We just revise some significant verses. So Arjun is basically now requesting Krishna to tell his different vibhutis and why he's asking that. So I can do your chintan constantly. That's his purpose. He's not just asking another piece of knowledge. No, he has a purpose attached to it. What is the purpose? So that I can think about you constantly, because initially people cannot think Krishna so closely. So they have to see around the things which they can connect with Krishna. That's where they start the journey. Later they can see Krishna in everything. And he's saying, just please tell me in the star in detail. Now here we will start here, 10.19. I think we have done this. Let's redo this verse and then we'll start. Who has not done as yet? Prasanatma Prabhu, you would like to do one?
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Verse 19, Hare Krishna. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Antate kate yasyame.
We can just read the translation, Prabhu. We have already done it. We'll just take a few points and then we'll move forward.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestation, but only those which are prominent, O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. So Arjuna, previous verse, he said he want to hear more about the glories of opulence of Lord, but Lord's opulence is unlimited. So he's saying here, Atha Kate Yasyami. I shall speak now about the transcendental vibhuti, about my glories. That's what Lord is saying here. Pradhana Yata, whichever is the prominent one, because na asti anto vistarasya, because Lord's glories is unlimited. So he's saying he will tell the prominent one.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. So now this chapter name is Vibhuti Yoga, and we haven't discussed the word Vibhuti as yet. So let's discuss the word Vibhuti and then we'll get inside this Vibhuti. So what does Bhuta mean? Bhut Pret?
Living entity.
Living entity, yep. And also ghost. That's also Bhuta. And also another meaning of Bhuta is existence. So existence is also Bhuti or Bhuta. And Vibhuti means Vishesh Bhuti. Vishesh existence means special existence. So a special existence which Krishna is going to speak about in next 20 or 21 verses in this chapter, and further in the 11th chapter. There are around 80 Vibhutis Krishna will talk about in 10th and 11th chapter. And Vibhutis means that special existence which is especially empowered by Krishna, which attracts people. Not everything which attracts people will take us towards Krishna, can take us against Krishna as well. Like many people are attracted to drugs and alcohol and whatnot. They're pretty attracted towards those things, right? So that's not going to take us towards Krishna. And Chaitanya Prabhu was giving an example, I think, of a beautiful woman, for example, or celebrity, very beautiful, attracts a lot of people. But does that provide yoga for those people to Krishna? No. Prabhu said that only provides bhoga. Because when we look at that particular person, we don't get reminded of Krishna. We get reminded of our own sense gratification. So it's saying, although that attractiveness in that particular celebrity or personality is also given by Krishna, but not all the vibhutis will take us towards Krishna. So there are many attractive things in the world which are called vibhuti. Vibhuti means they are specially empowered by Krishna. Krishna has given some special shakti in those things or in those people which attracts people. But a devotee chooses only those vibhutis of Krishna which take us towards Krishna. Example, simple example. A disciple is very attracted towards a spiritual master. Now, from a mundane perspective, spiritual master may also look like a simple person, you know, wearing dhoti kurta, have no money, practically speaking, may not even speak English very properly, walking barefoot in some village somewhere. But his disciple will be very attracted. Oh, my spiritual master is coming, my life is coming. How can I serve my spiritual master? Day and night, he's trying to serve his spiritual master. From mundane perspective, really, you're attracted to this person? What's so special about it? So they can't see. So a spiritual master like Prabhupada is also known as Shaktya Veshavata. The Shakti was given by Nityananda Prabhu to preach the holy name of Krishna. Prathu Maharaj, he also is a Shaktya Veshavata. He has Bhupalana Shakti. Parashuram has Dushta Daman Shakti. Narad Muni has Bhakti Shakti. So different Shaktis are given to different personalities for some special purpose. And then in that field, you can say at least people get very attracted. Narad Muni is very attractive personality. Now, we haven't seen Narad Muni, but what we have heard about Narad Muni makes him such a great acharya, such a great attractive personality. In Bhagavatam, it says there is no canto in Bhagavatam which does not speak about Narad Muni. Now, Brahmaji is a creator, but Brahmaji is not spoken in every single canto, but Narad Muni is present in every single canto. His position is so prominent in Bhagavatam. Everywhere he comes and guides people. Even on the account of taking curses from Daksha Prajapati, for example. So he's such a big preacher. But who has given the Shakti? Krishna says, and Krishna will talk about in this chapter as well. I'm Narad amongst Dev Rishis. So vibhutis are such existences in the things around us which we see or we experience, which attracts us. Now that attraction may take us towards Krishna, may not take us towards Krishna, but that is given by Krishna. So Krishna is saying, I will explain some pradhan, some prominent vibhutis of my Atma Vibhutaya, Meri Vibhuti, my vibhutis I will explain. So let's see what those vibhutis are. So that starts from verse 20. Let's read that. What's the first thing Krishna is saying? Vinay Prabhu, would you like to read one?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So verse 20, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Aham Atma Gura Kesha.
Aham Atma Gudakesha.
Sarvabhuta Ashaya Smitaha.
Sarvabhuta Shaya Stitaha.
Aham Adi Cha Madhyam Cha.
Aham Adisya Madhyam Cha.
Bhutanam Anta Eva Cha.
Bhutanam Anta Eva Cha.
I am the Supreme. I am the Super Soul, O Arjuna, seated in the heart of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of the beings. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So now you can see very clearly, it's very, very close to a Hindi verse. So Aham is me, Atma is the Atma. So Krishna is saying, I am the Atma. So Krishna obviously is saying, I am the super soul, Gudakesh. Who's been referred to Gudakesh as?
Arjuna.
Arjuna. Why he's called Gudakesh? We have read it earlier.
Conqueror of sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep, more.
Ignorance.
Ignorance, more. That's both correct.
Darkness.
Darkness, very good. More. That's all correct. Another meaning of Gudakesh, which we have read earlier in the first chapter, this word has been used. Guda Kesha.
One who gives sweetness to Lord Brahma and Shiva.
Thank you. So Ka refers to Lord Brahma, Sha refers to Shiva, and Guda refers to good. Everyone knows good. We like good ka chai.
Jaggery.
Jaggery, good ka barfi. I don't know what you call in Tamil, Prabhuji. In Hindi, we call it good.
Bellam.
Bellam. Okay, bellam. So bellam or good or jaggery. So sweetness. That sweetness is very attractive. And why we are saying Vishwanath Chakra Thakur gives this explanation, which we are sort of referring to. So he says, one who gives sweetness to even Lord Brahma and Shiva. Who gives that sweetness? Krishna gives that sweetness by his actions. Now, what action Krishna is doing in the battlefield, which is giving joy to even Brahma and Shiva? What action is he doing? He is driving a chariot. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? He has unlimited and millions of universes coming out of his body and going back into his body. And out of these universes. There's one universe and there's one small earth and one small earth. There's a one small spot in that. The Supreme Personality of God, it has taken the position of a servant of his devotee. So that brings joy and tears in the eyes of even Brahma and Shiva. Huh? So that Lord. And who is causing this Lord to do the action? Arjun is causing, isn't it? Arjun has so much love for that Lord who's ready to accept the position of a servant. So Arjun is giving that Guda, Arjun is giving that Jagri to even Brahma and Shiva. So Arjun is referred to as Gudakesh because he has so much love. He has bought Lord with his love. Like Yashoda Maya is bound with her love, not with the ropes. Yashoda Maya is not using the ropes. Ropes is external, using the love to bind. So Arjun has purchased Krishna, and Krishna is ready to anything and everything for his devotee. Huh? So he is referred to as Gudakesha. And obviously, as we discussed, sleep and ignorance, darkness, they're also the meaning. Sarva Bhutasha Sthita. So I am situated in the heart of all the living entities as Atma. Huh? And as we have said, Atma or Brahma word is used for both, for Paramatma as well as for a general Atma like you and me. But Krishna is known as Paramatma and Param Brahma. So Krishna is the super soul sitting in the heart of every living entity. Aham Adisha. Adi refers to beginning, beginning or the source. It can be the source. So is Krishna the source of all of us? Is that right or not? Right. Yes. Aham Adisha. Madhyam. Madhyam refers to whatever we are at this stage. So Madhyam actually can have multiple layers of meaning, but a simple meaning you can say in terms of sustenance. Who is sustaining all of us? Our 9-to-5 job. We work in government industry, private industry. We work very hard. I cook dal and rice and this and that. I do jhadu, pocha, everything. Huh? Are we sustaining ourselves? Even if you say that as soon as the food goes from this part to your tummy part, who sustains? Sometimes we have problem in this part. We go to the doctor. Doctor have to give a pill. Huh? Otherwise, this part doesn't work. Now, when this part is working, we forget it. Huh? There's so many systems which are responsible for our food digestion. Do we have any control over it? Amog Lila Prabhu, very nicely he explains, I can't do that, but he says, do we do that bile juice, please come out, we switch a button, and then this juice come out, and now it goes to the pancreas, then it goes to the liver, it goes to the, big intestine and small. Do we do any plug system, any automation, any computerized system? We buy a package deal. Nothing. It's all happening. It's all happening. So we can just taste the food, and after that, sometimes we can't taste the food when we have cold and cough. So Madhyam, who is the Madhyam? That's also Krishna. And Anta, we already know. when we are Anta, this body is Anta. That's definitely Krishna. So Aham Adisha Madhyam. So Prabhupada writes, I am the beginning, I am the middle, and I am the end of all living entities. And we also read the word, say, Param Dhama. He is the supreme abode for everyone, all the time. So we'll sort of read these verses. If the philosophical point is there, I'll explain it. Otherwise, I'll just keep going because there are many names here in these further verses. 10:21. Who haven't done it as yet? I'm not sure. Priya Mataji. I'm not sure. Divya Mataji. Okay. We'll go back to number 1. Jai Dharma Prabhuji, if you want to read.
Adityanam aham Vishnur.
Adityanam aham Vishnur.
Jyotisham ravir amshuman.
Jyotisham ravir anshuman.
Marichir marutam asmi.
Marichir marutam asmi.
Nakshatranam aham shashi.
Nakshatranam aham shashi.
Translation. Of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Of lights, I am the radiant sun. Of the Marutis, I am the Marichi. And among the stars, I am the moon.
Thank you. So Adityanam aham Vishnu. Now, this can have all these verses actually in one sense, can have multiple meanings. We'll just keep it the simple meanings which Prabhupada is giving. So of the Adityas, I am Vishnu. So Adityas are the son of Aditi. So as we know, Kashyap Muni has 2 sons, Aditi and Diti. So Diti's sons are Daityas, Aditi's sons are Adityas. So these are the Adityas which you're talking about. Now, these also have multiple meanings. So what I have heard from Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, in the zodiac signs. There are 12 zodiac signs in the sky, so sky can be divided into 12 signs. So amongst one of them, most prominent one is called Vishnu. So let's keep that way for our purpose here. Jyotisham Ravir Anshuman. So Ravi refers to sun, or Jyoti means the effulgent object. So Prabhupada writes here, of all the lights, I am the radiant. So no one, at least in our knowledge in this universe, is as brilliant as sun, as radiant as sun. So sun is very, very prominent. That's a vibhuti of Krishna. Marichir Marutam Asmi. So Marut refers to, anyone know Marut word is used anywhere else in Shastra? Everyone knows that. Maruti.
Wind, one who is
Maruti.
Maruti.
Maruti, who's Maruti? Maruti car, Maruti Suzuki 800.
Hanuman.
So Hanuman is Maruti, So he is the Pavana Putra. So Maruti refers to wind, Pavan. That's how we can remember. Maruti car has also come from Hanumanji. So Marichir. So there are different Pavans, different types of Pavans. As we know, there are different types of Agnis. There are 49 different types of Agnis. Like when there is a Vivaha Yagya, they use different Agni. When do some other sanskara, different Agni. When someone leaves the body, we use different Agni. So by Ahvan, so physically they all look same, Agni, but actually they are different Agni. So Pujari will invoke a particular type of Agni. So similarly, we have different type of Marut, different types of wind. So the most prominent one is Marichi. Now Marichi is also the name of Brahma's son. So next one, Nakshatranam Aham. Nakshatra refers to stars, and he says, I am Shashi. Shashi means moon. Of all the stars, I am the moon. Because moon is very, very attractive. Even for Vedic literature, even in modern, at least in Bollywood literature, you'll hear this moon. Chand Samukhda. We compare with Chand, someone is very beautiful. In Jiva Goswami writes in Gopal Champu, when Krishna came to Srimati Radharani very late, because he went to see Chandravali, and somehow or other Radharani could smell that Krishna is coming from somewhere else. So when Krishna was talking, eventually this word Chandravali came on his mouth. So Radharani said, oh, you have come after meeting Chandravali. He said, no. I was saying you are Chandravali, like you are like Chandrama. And Radharani says, am I like a Chandrama? Yes, definitely. You are so beautiful. You are as good as Chandrama. Yeah, but Chandrama has dark. Chandrama has a spot. Do I have a spot? Krishna said, no, you don't have any spot. So in Vedic culture, modern culture, everywhere, Chandrama is used because of its beauty. So Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. Shashi is Chandrama. 10:22. Rasanand Prabhuji, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Vedanam samavedosmin.
Vedanam samavedosmi.
Devanam ashmi vashava.
Devanam asmi vasavaha.
Indriyanam manasa asmi.
Indriyanam manaschasmi.
Bhutanam asmi chetana.
Bhutanam asmi chetana.
Translation. Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heavens. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in living beings, I am the living force, consciousness.
So Vedana, so it's very clear. So out of all the Vedas, which Veda I am? Samaveda. So they say there are 3 types of Veda, or 4 types. Initially there were 3, and then 4th came later. So what are the 3 you can say? Rig Veda, Sam Veda, and Yajur Veda. So Rig Veda, it says, primarily used for invoking different types of demigods. So they have prayers which is used for invoking demigods. Like when we are doing Yajna, we have to invoke different demigods. And Sam Veda and Yajur Veda. Yajur Veda describes the how do you do worship? What are different ingredients you need to worship that particular demigod? Like you need, 15 nariyal and this barley and this and that. So that all things are described in Yajur Veda. Sam Veda describes the glorification of the devatas. That obviously includes the Krishna's glorification as well. So this, out of all 3 Vedas, is considered the most, the glorification part. So even if the Yajna have little less ingredient, that's all right. If invoking mantras are not glorification mantra, that is very important. That is Samaveda. Now we'll also read within Samveda, Krishna will say Brahat Samasmi. So Brahat Sam, there's a particular, you can say, a glorification, a prayer in Samveda. So we'll go there as well. Devanam Asmi Vasava. So Vasava refers to Indra, as you can read in the Prabhupada translation. Vasava, the heavenly king. So Indra, out of all the devas who I am, the Indra, because Indra is the king. Indriyanam Manaschasmi, out of all the senses, which one I am? In Mana. Mana means mind. Because all the Indriyas can be controlled very quickly if your mind is controlled, isn't it? If mind is uncontrolled, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna Paramathi Balvatranam. Tasyaham Nigram Manne Vayo Rif Sudashkram. So Arjun does not talk about my eyes are going here and there, my ears are going here and there. What he talks about, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna. Man is very, very powerful. And we all struggle with man. And Krishna particularly talks about so many verses in 6th chapter about man and mind control. Abhyasentu Kontaya Vairagyan Chakrahiyate. So man is extremely strong. In 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Avanti Brahman is saying, who is the cause of my problems? Who is the cause of me being unhappy? He's saying Devatas are not the cause. My family is not the cause. The environmental beings are not my cause. Who's the cause of my unhappiness? My mind is the cause. So many times we blame demigods, our family, or our external situation. I'm not happy because of you. I'm not happy because of this thing is not in my life correct. That thing is not correct in my life. But what is not correct in our life? Our mind is not controlled. Simple as that. So if our mind is in control, then everything else will be all right. As we were discussing a famous quote of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, devotional life is not resource dependent, it is desire dependent. And many times we blame resources for lack of our devotion. Many times, if not all the time. So some things may need to be corrected. We are not denying it, but generally speaking, we blame the resource. I don't have this car, I don't have this house, I don't have a good health, I don't have enough money. So I can serve Krishna. No, you don't need all these to serve Krishna. You can serve Krishna in any situation of your life. So Indriyana Manaschasi, because man is the biggest problem, most of the cases. Bhutana Asvi Chetana, and I am consciousness. So is anybody here does not have a Chetana, does not have consciousness, will not be sitting here. So because of that spark, that conscious spark, we are able to talk with each other, we are able to exchange emotions with each other because of that Chetana. And what is, where is this Chetana coming from? Krishna. And because of someone has a lot of Chetana, someone is very active, very, what do you call? Bubbly personality. That's a very bubbly personality. This is very attractive. A girl or a boy you see in Hindi movies, very bubbly person comes, active person is very talking, joking, this and that. You have so much energy, and that's very attractive. Where is that attractiveness coming from? Krishna. Yes, Mataji, Sakira Mataji.
Just on that which you were telling, that the problem is not in others, it's in us. So I happened to ask a question from Veer Krishna Maharaj, and he explained it very nicely. So I think it would be beneficial for everyone.
Sure, please, Mataji.
I asked that, Maharaj, sometimes we have this thing that somebody is constantly hurting us. We are forgiving, but what happens is when we again come in contact, they again say something with which we get hurt. And so the previous problems which we have like forgiven them also gets fresh. So how should we deal in such situations?
Yeah.
So Maharaj very nicely said that, and he said, mind my words, like this phrase, that if you're meeting someone and that person, according to you, is hurting you, is actually, it's not that. It is that they are stimulating a pain which is your undesirable, they're stimulating a pain in you which is because of your unfulfilled desires. Your need is there, and that is what is not being fulfilled. So they are stimulating a pain, but it is not that they are like hurting you or they're pulling you down or anything. It is how you perceive it. So he said that somebody is playing football and you are not good at football, and somebody says, oh, you are very bad at football, it won't matter. But if you are a sports person and somebody says you're not good at football, that will matter to you. So he said it is all about how you perceive, and nobody is the cause of your pain. It's you, how you take it. So yeah.
True, very true. We perceive the situation differently, and that's why we get hurt. Maybe sometimes someone says a statement, he doesn't even mean anything, but we feel better. He said something like this to me, Now, he may not ever mean that, but we just interpret like that. Devananda Prabhu gives a simple example. He said, if I'm passing by and I'm in rush and I didn't say Hare Krishna to a devotee, and that devotee feels, Hare, he didn't say Hare Krishna to me. He must be angry with me. He must be playing politics against me. He must be doing this. And Devananda Prabhu said, I may have no idea even he was just next to me, present there, because I'm in my own world that time. I'm in rush. I'm having a bad day today, whatever. So yeah, many times perception, many times it's real as well. But then also a devotee doesn't have the complaints. Like Devaki Maharani was not doing complaint to Kansa after he asked for forgiveness. She forgave actually. She forgave. Now, which mother will forgive a person who has murdered 6 of her children in front of her eyes? Few hours old children, not big children. They were not having any enmity. You know, the sons were not causing harm to Kansa. Nothing. They were few hours old, and Kansa threw every one of them onto a rock, which was right in front of her eyes. So, which mother? Draupadi, when she saw Ashwatthama after killing of her 5 children, she forgave Ashwatthama. Which mother can do it? Only a devotee can do it. Only a devotee. Amrish Maharaj could forgive Durvasa Muni. Only a devotee can do it. So yes, it is our perception, because when we see these extreme cases, what has happened to us, even suppose someone has caused some problem to us, what is our problem? It's nothing. Prahlad never complained about his father. Draupadi never complained. Chitraketu Maharaj never complained to Mother Parvati. Why are you giving me curse? I was just having a friendly talk with Lord Shiva. He's my friend. And he was right, actually. He wasn't making a joke of Lord Shiva. He was just a friendly chat. Parvati Mata became very angry.
Maharaj said about all the examples which you're giving, and he said that everybody is connected with their constitutional position, and that is the need, and they have identified their need.
Yes.
So Maharaj was saying that. So what you explained, like all these examples,
Very good.
We have to also try to understand our need, and our basic need is to serve devotees and serve Krishna. And when we feel it, then these things won't matter. We won't see anybody causing us pain.
Yes. So many times, if not all the time, we have too much free time actually to think about all this. If you're super busy in our devotional seva, even if someone has said something or done something, it's okay. I don't have time. I have another seva. I have another seva. You don't have time to think or act on those things. Okay, nice. Thank you, Mataji. 10:23. Who is the next? Satyabhama Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Rudranam Sankarashchasmi.
Rudranam Sankarashchasmi.
Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam.
Vittesho Yaksha Rakshasam.
Vashunam Pavakaschasmi.
Asunam Pavakaschasmi.
Meru Sikharinam Aham.
Meru Shikarinam Aham.
Of all the Rudras, I am the Lord Shiva. Of the Yakshas and Rakshasas, I am the Lord of the wealth, Kuvera. Of the Vasus, I am the fire, Agni. And of the mountains, I am Meru. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Rudranam, so everyone knows Rudra is considered as Lord Shiva. Now I know that there are multiple meanings here. We'll keep it simple. So there are 11 Rudras which are responsible for annihilation of the whole material creation when the appropriate time comes. So out of all those 11 Rudras, I am Shankar. I'm Shankar. So there are different names also given of those Rudras. So the Shankar is the most powerful one. So I'm that. Vitteshu Yaksha Rakshasam. So Yaksha and Rakshasa, they are also species which exist in the universe. And Vitteshu, it refers to Kubera. So Kubera, as we know, he's a devotee of the Lord, also, although he's a Yaksha, but it says he's the he's the good one amongst the bad ones. So as we also hear about Kubera in 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Dhruv Maharaj seeks blessings of Kubera. So Kubera is a very great devotee of Lord. So he's saying, I am Vitteshu, I'm Kubera amongst that. And we also here in Damodar Ashtak, the sons of Kubera, Nal Kubera and Manigriva. So he is as a very significant person. Vasunam Pavakaschasmi. So there are 8 Vasus. We know we talk about Bhishma. Bhishma is also a Vasu in his previous birth. So there are 8 Vasus. You can say different 8 elements of this universe. Pavaka. Pavaka refers to Agni. Agni means fire. So I am the fire amongst 8 Vasus. Meru Shikarinam Aham. So Mount Meru, Sumeru, we call it. When we chant Hare Krishna mantra in the beads, we also have a Krishna bead. Someone call it Sumeru bead as well. So Sumeru bead, Sumeru Parvat or Meru Parvat, same thing. They separate the material world and the spiritual world. It's very significant, and it's like the very tall mountain. Shikhar. Shikhar refers to very tall mountain. Very, very big. You'll see that in 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam as well. 10:24. Divya Mataji, would you like to read? Yes,
Yes,
Jai Dharma Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, in the Rudras,
Yes.
is Sadashiv considered part of it because he is considered eternal?
Yes,
aspect
yeah.
of-
So no, so we're talking specifically Rudra. Rudra works only in this universe, Prabhuji. So Sadashi, we're talking a different personality here. So Rudras can come out of Sadashiv and this very complex system. That's why I'm not generalizing the statement here, but he's a very different person. So Rudras work in this universe. There are 11 Rudras who are maintaining their roles in this particular universe. And when the time of annihilation comes, they put the fire actually.
So is Hanuman also considered one of the
No, he's the avatar of Shiva.
Shiva?
He's not Rudra. So Rudra, as I said, have a specific job. Hanumanji avatar is there, obviously, but he is a mix of Vishnu and Shiva.
He came from Rudra. That's what.
One manifestation. Yes, that's correct. So he has a mix of Rudra, Shiva, as well as Vishnu. Hanumanji is very, very special personality, and his role is also different. He's a Guru Tattva. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Divya Mataji, we can continue.
Yes, Prabhu. Purudosham cha mukhyam mam
Purodasham cha mukhyam mam
vidhi partha brahaspatim
Vidhi Partha Brahaspatim
senanenam aham skanda
Sena Ninam Aham Iskandaha
sarasam asmi sagraha.
Sarasam Asmi Sagaraha.
Translation of priest, O Arjuna, know me to be the chief Brahaspati. Of generals, I am Kartikeya, and of bodies of water, I am the ocean. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. So Purodasam. So Purodasam, you would have heard the word Purohit. So Purohit is the one who is being hired by a Yajaman or a host, you can say, if you want to perform a yajna. So you call a Brahmana who sort of organizes the whole ceremony for you. That's called Purohit. Now Purohit is the one which gets paid for it. Some compensation you give in terms of money or some other things. So it's called Purohit. So who is the Mukhya, main Purohit of Devatas? Everyone knows this, Brahaspati ji. So Brahaspati is very great person. His name comes in Bhagavatam many times, in Mahabharata, in Ramayana as well. He's the main head priest. But you can say he's been in that position for a compensation. That's why he's called a Purohit. He's not a Rishi. Rishis are independent. They are not hired person who has to go to the assembly of that king every day like that. No. Brahaspati has a special role to guide demigods. He's called Raj Purohit, for example. So Purodasamcha Mukhyam Mam. Mukhya Purohit, I am the main priest. Who is that main priest? Brahaspati. And whom they are guiding? Devatas. Like Devata itself are very, very high beings, and he is highest among them. All the demigods bow down to Brahaspati. It's a very great position. Senani Nam. So Senani Nam refers to the commander-in-chief, a general. Prabhupada writes here, I am Iskandaha or Kartikeya. Both names are valid. He is the son of Lord Shiva, the elder son, you can say, of Lord Shiva. Sarasam Asli Sagara. Sarasam is a body of water. Sagar, everyone knows Sagar or the ocean, because he's the most attractive. If you see a river, it may look attractive, but if you look ocean, that looks really attractive. Australia, at least I can say, there are so many beaches. People go hundreds of kilometers to see another beach. I'm remembering a scene, Prabhu. We went to some beach many years ago. I don't remember the name actually. Trying to remember anyway. There was a white sand there. Anyone remembers? I'm not sure.
Jarvis.
Jarvis, here we are. So we went there and I was like, it looks exactly same as any other one. So Prabhu jokingly said, it's white sand. I'm saying, what is there in the white sand? And people, you won't believe, so devotees actually, they're putting the white sand in a big bag. They wanted to carry the white sand back. Anyway, I personally didn't understand the importance. Maybe there was important thing. So Sagar is considered very attractive. You go in front of Sagar or ocean, and you feel so insignificant and so majestic, so magnanimous, so big, huge, strong, powerful. It attracts people. It attracts people. Huh? So that is Krishna. That's representation of Krishna. 10:25. Okay, maybe Mohit Prabhu can continue. It's a
Sure,
very
Prabhu.
important verse, 10:25, actually. I'll tell you why.
Maharshinam Bhrigur Aham
Maharshinam Bhrigur Aham
Giram Asmi Ekam Aksharam
Girami Asram Ekam Aksharam
Yajnanam Japo Yajnosmi
Yajnanam Japa Yagyosmi
Stavranam Himalaya.
Isthavaranam Himalaya.
Translation Srila Prabhupada, teacher. Of the great sages I am Bhrigu, of vibration I am the transcendental Om, of sacrifice I am the chanting of the holy name Japa, and of immovable things I am the Himalayas. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. So Maharshinam. So now here we see the difference. How he is not called Purohit, it's called Maharishi. Great sage. Amongst great sages who I am Bhrigu. Anyone remember a famous pastime of Bhrigu Muni? Quickly.
Bhrigu Maharaj kicks at the chest of the
Yeah.
Lord.
So you can
Lord
understand.
Venkateshwara.
Huh?
Lord
Venkat-
Venkateshwara Balaji.
Balaji.
It
Yeah.
happened. with
Yeah.
Bhrigu Maharaj.
So look at the position of Bhrigu Muni. Huh? He is not just another sage who can enter into Vaikuntha and kick at the chest of Lord Vishnu while he is sleeping in his bedroom. Like, this is such a great thing. Look at his position. No guards stopped him. We look at Jai and Vijay stopped like 4 Kumaras. No one stopped him. He just walked straight in, and Lakshmi Devi was sitting there as well, massaging the feet of Lord Vishnu, and he goes straight and kicks the chest of Lord Vishnu. And who's Lord Vishnu is saying, I am that Maharishi. I am that Maharishi. Huh? So it's not just another issue. And many times you'll also hear the word Bhraguvanshi. I am the descendant of Bhraguvansha. It's such a respectable Vansha dynasty. Giram Asmi Ekam Aksharam. So Ekam Aksharam refers to Pranavaha Sarva Vedeshu. So we read in 7th chapter as well, Pranava or Omkar. If you have to choose one word, the most important word, what is that one word will be? Om. Om. And Om also means Radha and Krishna. There are explanations for that. But even if you take impersonal explanation of the absolute truth, Om is the main word. So Giram Asmi, of all the letters, I am Om. Of all the vibrations, sorry, of all the vibrations, Giram is vibrations. So Gira also refers to Jeev, tongue. Ekam Aksharam, Yajnanam Jap Yagyosmi. This is a very, very beautiful reference in Bhagavad Gita. As we talk about Sankirtan Yajna, and many people does not relate this japa, which they say, what you guys are doing 2 hours, Hare Krishna, in that beatback. So here Krishna very clearly mentioning the 2 things he's mentioning. Japa is a yajna. Japa is a yajna. Japa is not something. And what do you sacrifice here? So in normal yajna, you sacrifice, say, ghee, some barley, some wheat, some till, sesame seeds. What do you sacrifice here? Anyone?
Time, effort.
Time? Okay. More than time?
Effort.
Effort, consciousness. Ideally, you put your consciousness to hear the holy name of Krishna. When you say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. What's the best thing you're supposed to do? To listen the holy name. So put your mind, withdraw your mind from everything else and just put your mind in listening the holy name of the Lord. Is this an easy job? Most difficult job. Any yajna, Pujari says, Mataji, it will cost you $500, $1,000. No problem. Prabhuji, you can buy the ingredients, I'll pay you the money. No problem with that. Nursing yajna, this yajna, that, all good. But when you come out, Japa yajna, we all do it. Every day we do it. Many malas we do it. But this is the most difficult yajna. And this yajna is a representation of Krishna. Because here we are putting, what are we doing ahuti of? Our consciousness. And this is the most difficult one. And if we do this carefully, Krishna Prema is guaranteed. Prabhupada said 99% of your devotional service, devotional advancement will be based on your chanting. 99% Prabhupada said. So whatever we are doing, reading this Bhakti Shastri, going to temple and all that, they're all important. But what they are leading towards? Chanting. Prabhupada was asked, why do you chant? What the answer was, one time at least, to chant more. Why are you chanting? To chant more. Now we don't feel like that, at least I don't feel like that. Sola mala ho gaya. Thank you for the day. Sometimes a little extra. But we don't have that interest because we are not putting our consciousness here. But Krishna is saying, Yajnanam jap yajñosmi. I am the jap yajna. And also this is the reference from Bhagavad Gita, where you can, sometimes people say, why are you chanting Hare Krishna? Where Krishna is saying, here Krishna is saying, I am the jap yajna. And also you can take the reference of 9:14, Satatam kirtayanto mam. So when we talk about chant 2 hours, you can show to others, Krishna is saying Satatam kirtayanto mam, chant always. We are only saying chant 2 hours. So we are actually doing a concession. Prabhupada has done a concession. Why are you chanting for 2 hours? Where is written in Bhagavad Gita? It's written, Satatam kirtayanto. Kirtaniya sadahari. Now Prabhupada was very kind. Okay, you only chant 2 hours a day. That is also very difficult for us. So Yajnanam jap yagyos. Isthavaranam Himalaya. So sthavar means immovable thing. Sthavar. So immovable things, the giant, big, attractive thing is Himalaya. The whole world sort of knows the greatness of Himalayas. Himalaya are the representation of Krishna. Okay, 26. Priya Mataji, would you like to do?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just
Yes, Mataji.
one question. In the purport, it says Himalaya is greater than Meru because Meru is movable. So mountain can be movable, Prabhu, Meru.
Yeah, okay. So sometimes movable. Okay, Himalayas are never movable. Yeah, so mountains not sometimes movable. Actually, it says in Srimad Bhagavatam, they were always movable. Always. And Himalaya were very naughty. And we also read the pastime of Girirajji. Girirajji is the son of Vindhya Parvat. So these Himalayas, I'll take the general part and then I'll tell the specific part. So Himalayas were always movable. They will go and sit on the village sometime. The villagers will get crushed. So citizens of Prithviloka approached Devraj Indra and say, these Parvat, these mountains are troubling us so much. Please do something. So Indra, out of anger, he threw his Vajra on this Parvat. Parvat used to have wings actually. They will use the wings like a birds and they will sit somewhere and just in fun, they will kill hundreds and thousands of people. So Indra threw his Vajra on these Parvats and cut both the wings. From that day, they became immovable. So that's the story from movable to immovable. Now Girirajji is also a Parvat. Externally speaking, he's a devotee as well as Krishna. He's a Parvat as well. So when he took his appearance on Prithviloka under Dronagiri, if you remember, he was serving Pulasya Rishi. When Pulasya Rishi was the guest at Dronagiri's palace, Girirajji, who was a small boy at that time, was serving Pulasya Rishi. Pulasya Rishi was so happy with the service of Girirajji. He asked Dronagiri, when Pulasya Rishi was leaving Dronagiri, as any householder, any sadhu comes to your house and sadhu is leaving, what do you pray to the sadhu? Can I serve you? Can I serve you in any other way? Now, Dakshina is just one part of the seva. Many times, we give $51 or 51 rupees. That's just one part of it. Because we don't have ability to say to the sadhu, can I serve you? Sorry to say that. We don't have the ability. If the sadhu asks something, we have to do it. If you refer the pastime of Bilomangal Thakur, one version says, Bilomangal Thakur, when he left this prostitute going to Vrindavan, on the way he saw another Mataji. And another Mataji was a wife of a Brahmana. And when Bilomangal Thakur got attracted to this Mataji as well, and she was going home, he was following. When he arrived home, and this wife was very scared, she told the husband, this boy is chasing me. It looks like he's a Brahman. So he was also a Brahman, the host was also a Brahman. He said to the wife, you don't worry, let me talk to this guy. So wife went inside the house, the husband opened the door and he says, my dear Brahman, what can I do for you? And Bilomangal Thakur that time also had so much emotions in his heart. He said, he's a guest, right? He has come inside his house. He's at the door and the host is asking, what can I do for you? One version of the story says, he said, I want to associate with your wife. Now, when the husband heard that, this Brahman heard that, he was like, what are you saying? But he said, my duty as a host is to serve my guests and I will do my duty. Amazing. We can't comprehend all that, but that's what one version of the pastime says. And he said, okay, go ahead. So when Bilomangal Thakur was taken in a room, wife also was present there, then Bilomangal Thakur feel disgusted actually that time. And he said to this Brahmani, give me the hairpin. And she was like, my husband has said to follow the orders of this guest. He's a Brahman. We have to serve the Brahman. So anyway, so he took the pin and obviously he poked his both eyes that day. So he got disgusted. He was like very attracted towards the hostship of this host. He's serving me. I'm asking, his wife, and he's giving me his wife. Then he was disgusted. He said, no more. So Dronagiri said to Pulas Rishi, how can I serve you? Pulas Rishi said, are you okay? He said, yes, anything you ask. He said, give me Giriraj. Dronagiri said, anything but not Giriraj. Like Dasharatha Maharaj also, when Vishwamitra Muni asked, Dasharatha Maharaj said, anything, Vishwamitra Muni, anything. And Vishwamitra said, give me Ram. And he said, no Ram, anything but Ram, anything I can give you. Vishwamitra said, what the hell you are talking? Huh? You just said you are going back on your word. You just said anything I'll give you. So Pulas Rishi was carrying Girirajji on his hand then. And there's a long story how he came to Vrindavan. So yes, Mataji, long story short, mountains were always movable and they were made immovable later on by Indra and by some other pastimes. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I don't know how I went in this Puranas and Bhagavatam stories, but I just asked a simple question. Okay, let's move forward. 10:26. Priya Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Ashwatha sarva vrikshanam.
Ashwatha sarva vrikshanam.
Devrishinam cha naradha.
Devarshinam cha naradaha.
Gandharvanam chitraratha.
Gandharvanam chitraratha.
Siddhanam kapilo muni.
Siddhanam kapilo muni.
Translation: of all trees, I am the banyan tree, and of all the sages among the demigods, I am Narada. Of the Gandharvas, I am Chitradatha, and among perfected beings, I am the sage Kapila. Hare Krishna.
So everyone knows Ashwatha tree or banyan tree or Bargad ka tree is very popular in India. People worship Bargad ka tree, Ashwatha tree, banyan tree, because it has roots coming out of his branches, and the roots go to the ground, and sometimes you don't even know which is the main stem because there's so many sort of roots going downwards, and they make it very, very strong. Devarshinam cha Narada, so it's very clear. So amongst all the Dev Rishis, I am Narad. Now there are more Dev Rishis as well. We generally talk about Narad Muni, but there are many, many sages. Gandharvanam Chitraratha. So Chitraratha is a very famous Gandharva. Arjun had a big fight with Chitrarath. Now his name also comes at two places actually. In Bhagavatam it comes when Jamdagni Rishi's wife Renuka went to fetch water for Jamdagni Rishi. She saw some Gandharva. So they say Chitraratha Gandharva was playing with some Apsaras there, and she got attracted to the whole scene. Another name comes in Kamyavan when Gandharvas were there and Duryodhana tried to enter into the Kamyavan, and the Duryodhana armies are fully defeated. Then Arjun came and fought with Chitraratha. He was the Gandharva. All the Gandharvas are like sub-demigods. They're very, very high being. Arjun, being a human being, is supposed to be, generally speaking, weaker than Gandharvas, but Arjun is so strong. Arjun defeated Gandharvas. So he burnt his Rath as well. And later on, Chitraratha Gandharva was so impressed with the fighting skills of Arjuna, he said, let's become friends. So Arjuna and Chitraratha actually became friends. And this is a long story as well. Siddhanam Kapilo Muni. So out of all the Siddhas, perfected beings, I am Kapil Muni, which we read in Srimad Bhagavatam 3rd canto. Okay, 27. Charu Mataji, would you like to read? Oh, Sakhi Radhika Mataji, yes.
Prabhu, even Narad Muni was previously a Gandharva. I'm just just thinking that what did he do, like apart from being a 5-year-old?
Okay, so previous birth he was the maid servant, and previous to previous birth he was a son Gandharva, very beautiful Gandharva, very famous Gandharva. And Gandharvas are supposed to sing the glories of Lord Narayan, and when they are invited in a yagya, that's what they're supposed to do. Suppose you invite a Kirtan Mandali from ISKCON temple, North Sydney or Melbourne somewhere. When they come to your house, they start singing Bollywood song, and you're like, Prabhu, What are you doing? You're singing Bollywood song in a Hare Krishna program, ISKCON. How do you feel? You'll get angry actually, huh? I did not invite you for singing Hollywood songs. And Narad Muni actually said in the 2 lives before Gandharva form, he was so attractive. He was very beautifully singing. He got attracted to some Mataji Gandharvas. And instead of singing glories of Narayan, he started singing glories of that Mataji, like Bollywood song. So all the rishis, when they heard that, he took the mic amongst thousands of rishis when they're doing yajna and singing a Bollywood song. Rishis just looked at him and they cursed him. You are behaving like a human being, and in human being also like a Shudra, you become a human being and Shudra. And that's how Narad Muni sort of came down to the position of a son of a maid servant, who even didn't know who his father was. So this, practically speaking, this lady had been used by so many people. She didn't know who's the father of this boy. So Narad Muni in that birth does not know who the father is. Such a terrible situation, materially speaking, but Krishna's arrangement, huh? He dedicated his whole life. So no resource. Best example, I'm looking at Radhanath Maharaj picture, huh? So no resource needed for that boy, 5-year-old boy, mother also dies. And he feels good about it. Huh? Not in terms of being harsh, in terms of being more Krishna consciousness. And he said, Krishna has arranged this in my life so that I can dedicate my life to Krishna. Huh? So is that okay?
Yeah, Roj, so that's what I wanted to ask, that what did he do? Like Indradyumna Maharaj once said that, there are a lot of celestial beings and they want to come in the Hare Krishna movement, like they want to become devotees. So I wanted to know, what did he do as like he did that wrong, but in every Shrapa there is a hidden motive that Krishna sends. So I'm just thinking, as a Gandharva, what did he do? Like among all the Gandharva, he was given the opportunity to become a pure devotee. So I'm just thinking, what did he do?
I have not read that Mataji as yet, but as you correctly said, the principle is when sadhus get angry, their anger has some benefit for the soul, always, because real sadhus were very, very powerful devotees of Lord. Whenever they give shrap as well, there's some hidden agenda in that. But I've never heard directly on this particular instance, so I will not like to speculate. But the principle remains the same, as you're correctly mentioning. Narad Muni eventually became Narad Muni because of that so-called curse. So it's beautiful. It says whenever you get in touch with any devotee, in any way, it's beneficial. Even if a pure devotee sort of, chastises you, slaps you, it's very beneficial. We read Srivas Thakur slapping, what's the name of that Vaishnava, who was sort of stopping the vision of Mahaprabhu. Srivas Thakur got very angry at him and he slapped this person. And this person got very angry at Srivas Thakur. And I think Nityananda Prabhu or Sarup Damodar went to him and said, "Oh, you are so fortunate. You got the slap of Srivas Thakur. You should feel fortunate, not angry, because Srivas Thakur has slapped you." So pure devotee in any way they get in touch will give you benefit. But it doesn't mean we should do something stupid that they get a little upset. We should try to serve them in a positive way. Okay, 1027. I'm just going in the series. Charu Mataji, Hare Krishna. Sorry, my screen keeps moving. That's why I have to sort of go through. Sometimes the video number changes. Yes.
Uchchaishravasam Ashvanam.
Uchchaishravasam Ashvanam.
Viddhi mam amrito bhavan.
Viddhi mam amrodbhavam.
Amrodbhavam Airavatanam Gajendranam.
Airavatam Gajendranam.
Naranam cha Naradhipam.
Naranam cha Naradhipam.
Translation: of horses know me to be Uchchaishrava, produced during the churning of ocean for nectar. Of lordly elephants, I am Airavat, and among men, I am the monarch. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
So difficult to read this word, Uchchaishrava. So as we all know from 8th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Uchchaishrava horse came out of the Samudra Manthan, churning of the milk ocean, and this was taken by Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj took this particular horse. It's a very, very, very beautiful and unique horse. Ashwa refers to horse. So Viddhimam, Jano, Vidhi means to know, Mam means to me. So you know me out of all the Ashwas. I am Uchchaishra, which came out of Amrod Bhavam, like Amrat Manthan. Airavatam Gajendranam. So Gaja refers to Hathi or elephant. So Gajendra word is being referred in Bhagavatam as well, again in 8th canto. So Gajendra can be a particular Hathi, a particular elephant, or it can be called a very brave elephant, very great elephant. So there are many elephants. As you know, in 5th canto we read there are 4 big elephants which takes the weight of the all universe on their head. Actually, there are 4 elephants being planted in 4 directions. Outside Sumeru Parvat, if you see, there's a little video I have seen, planetary system, TOBP sort of thing. So there are 4 elephants there. So Gajendra refers to those elephants. We're not talking about, Kali Yuga, small elephants, big elephants. Out of those giant, big, attractive elephants, I am Airavat. Airavat is again, has many tusks. I think he has 5 tusks, if I'm not wrong. He's white in color, very attractive, very beautiful. And as he's the king, he carries a king. He carries Indra. This Indra's person. He also came out of churning of milk ocean. So when Ashwa, Uchchaishrava came, Bali Maharaj said, I'll take it. When Airavat came, Bali Maharaj said, I will take this as well. But sort of Ajit is Lord Vishnu. He intercepted and said, will you take everything or Indra will also take something? He said, okay. So I took the horse, you took the elephant. So that's how elephant came to Indra. Naranam cha Nara. So Nara refers to men, humans. I am Nara Adhipati. Adhipati refers to the controller. So Prabhupada writes, the king or the monarch. So king is the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, but not all the king will use that power given by Krishna in a right way. As you know, many kings are very bad kings. They are not the good kings. So we're not talking about every single king is representing Krishna in their power. No, we're not saying that. We're saying the power is given by Krishna. Now, what do they do with that power will depend on their free will. Now, example, in 4th canto, we read Vena. Vena was such a bad king. Eventually, Brahman had to curse him to die. So, Vena was such a king, but there are other kings as well, which are Raj Rishis, like Arjun is one of those kings. Anga Maharaj, the father of Vena, he was a Raj Rishi. So, we have so many Raj Rishis. They represents Krishna. Next one, I can see Sundar Gopal Prabhuji. Would you like to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Ayudhanamaham vajram.
Ayudhanam aham vajram.
Dhenunosmasmi kamaduk.
Dhenunam asmi kamadhuk.
Prajanaschasmi kandarpa.
Prajanaschasmi kandarpaha.
Samarpanamasmi vasuki.
Sarpanam asmi vasukihi.
Translation. Of weapons, I am the thunderbolt. Among cows, I am the surabhi. Of causes for procreation, I am Kandarpa, the god of love. And of serpents, I am Vasuki. Hare Krishna.
So Ayudh refers to weapons. We all know Ayudh refers to weapon, and Vajra is the best weapon. Now we are talking about the best weapon in this universe. Who is the best weapon amongst all the weapons? Sudarshan. So we're not talking about, the all in all. We're just talking in this universe. So Vibhutis is very clearly mentioned. We are talking about the great things in this universe. So don't try to compare with Golok, Vrindavan and all that, because we'll get confused. And why these Vibhutis are presented? Because so that a general person can start seeing Krishna's potency, and then they can connect with Krishna through looking at those things. So Ayudhanam, Vajra is considered the best weapon in this universe. Again, Ayudhanam, Dhenunam, Dhenu refers to cows, guy. So which guy I am, which cow I am? Kamadhuk. We referred Kamdhenu. We see Vasishtha Muni had a cow, Kamdhenu, Surabhi cow. Jamdagni Rishi also had one of them. So they are instances in Srimad Bhagavatam which we read. So I am that Surabhi cow. Surabhi cow does not just give milk, it can give Kamadhuk. Kam means desire. Whatever you desire, she can provide you. Prajanas Chasmi Kandarpa. So when you do procreation, I am Kandarpa. Kandarpa refers to Cupid. So everyone in this world is attracted to Cupid, but the Cupid which is Dharma aviruddhesu bhuteshu kamosmi bhartarshava. In 7th chapter, Krishna said, lust which is non-contrary to religious principles, I am that lust. So procreation in Vedic culture was not considered wrong. It was considered actually very respectful. I think one of the quotes of Prabhupada recently came in VSS group. It said, Garbhadan Sanskar was a public ceremony. It was not a secret. It was a public ceremony. It was considered very auspicious, and people will seek blessings for that ceremony. It was nothing secret, because Krishna says, "Dharma avriddha bhutesu kamosmi bhataspa." So, and when those sort of male female come together with the blessings, he's saying Gandharpa, I am that Cupid. So it's not any Cupid. We are all attracted to Cupid, but not any Cupid. Which Cupid I am? Dharma avriddho. So that is very, very important. Sarpanam asmi Vasuki. So we hear about Vasuki again in 8th canto, a big sarpa who was used as a rope. So Krishna is saying Sarpanam asmi, I'm the Vasuki sarpa. Very, very special sarpa. No other sarpa could be used as rope. Krishna said, get Vasuki. 1029. Okay, I'm again in my screen, Satyabhama Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Anantaschasmi naganam
Anantaschasmi naganam
varuno yadasham aham
varuno yadasam aham
pirtinam aryama chashmi
pitranam aryama chasmi
yama sanyamatamaham.
yamaha samyatam aham.
Of the many hooded nagas, I am the Ananta, and among the aquatics, I am the demigod Varuna. Of departed ancestors, I am Aryama, and among the dispensers of law, I am the Yama, the lord of death.
Hare Krishna. So Anantaschasmi naganam. So who was the Sarpa? Vasuki. So what's the difference between Sarpa and Naga? Nagas have multi-hooded. Prabhupada writes here, multi-hooded, many-hooded Nagas. So that's the difference. So they look same, but Sarpa will never have multi-hood, many heads, but Nag will have multi. And as we know, Ananta Shesh has how many heads? Ananta Shesh. His name is Ananta. So he has unlimited. And another Naga anyone knows from Srimad Bhagavatam other than Ananta Shesh?
Takshaka.
Takshak, okay. And
Kalia.
Kalia. Thank you. Everyone knows Kalia. Kalia says had 1,000 hoods. And out of 1,000 hoods, 100 hoods were prominent hoods of Kalia. So Kalia is also a Naga. But obviously Kalia is nothing in front of Ananta Shesh. So many hooded Nagas, I'm Ananta. Varun Dev, he's again a great devotee. 3rd canto we read about Varun Dev when he's dealing with Hiranyaksh. Hiranyaksh come to Varun Dev and said, fight with me. Varun Deva said, I'm very weak now, I'm old. You go and fight with Varaha Dev. He is a good match for you. He's a devotee. Also comes in Ramayana as well. He said, Yadasam, Prabhupada writes, of all the aquatics, I am the Varuna. Pitranam, so Aryama Chasmi. So as we know, Aryama is the head of Pitraloka. Now, as we know, pious soul, average pious soul, I can say, goes to Pitraloka, and super average, above than average. Like if you have mark 75 and 85, you go to Sargloka. If you have mark 65, so whatever marks you're going to get in Bhakti Shastri, that will decide your destination. Not in this universe, in Goloka Vrindavan, I mean to say. You can go to Saket Dham, Vaikuntha Dham. You can go to many other Dham, Narsingadev Dham. So Pitranam, Pitras. Pitraloka is also a Sargloka, type of Sargloka, much better than Prithviloka, but not as good as Sargloka, where Indra resides in Amaravati. Yamaha Samyatam. So if you have to do Sanyam to someone, like regulate someone, what's the best thing? Yamraj. Yamraj gives a sort of appropriate reaction to those people to give them Sanyam. Sanyam is control. So if they're uncontrolled people, they say there's a word called Shastra and Shastra. Shastra is for those who listen and follow. Shastra is for those who listen but does not follow. So, जो नहीं सुनता है उसके लिए डंडा. One who does not listen, Krishna has a different way of dealing with that person. So he says, among the dispensers of law, I am the Yama. He's Yamraj. He's the head of that. Okay. Move to the next one. 30th. Again, come back to Mohit Prabhuji. Okay, I'm not sure that they are. Priya Mataji or Divya Mataji.
I can do, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prahladaschashmi daityanam
Prahladashasmi daityanam
kala kalayatam aham
kalah kalyatam aham
mriganam cha mrigendroham
mriganam cha mrigendroham
venateyascha pakshinam.
veniteyasya pakshinam.
Translation: Among the Daitya demons, I am the devoted Prahlad. Among subdues, I am time. Among beasts, I am the lion. And among birds, I am Garuda. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So as we know, Daityas, we're talking about Diti and Aditi, Daitya and Aditya. So Prahlad obviously has taken birth in a Daitya family. Why? Because he is the son of Hiranyakashipu, who is the son of Diti. So from dynasty perspective, he is a Daitya. But as Prabhupada writes, I am devoted Prahlad. So it's such a big thing actually. He's saying amongst all the Daityas, I am Prahlad. Very great. So Prahlad, obviously, he is such a great and loving devotee of Lord. Kalaha. Kal, we all understand Kal or time. So Kalyatam Aham. So Kalyatam subdue us. It says Kal will deal with everything what a human can't deal. Samay sab kuch nashta kar deta hai. Time destroys everything, subdues everything. So human may not have control, but time destroys everything. So it says among subduers, I am the time. So eventually time will act. And what's the sort of one business of time? Prabhupada writes in Bhagavatam somewhere, I can't remember one of the purpose, the duty of time is to destroy. There's only one duty time has, destroy. Every moment he's destroying all of us. When you came in this class at 4 o'clock, you were younger, now you're older. Fortunately or unfortunately, you're 1.5 hours older now, all of us, due to time. Time has destroyed that. Now you cannot say destroyed in this case. We are hearing, talking about some Krishna Katha. So Mraganam cha Mragendro. So Mraga also refers to beast, animals. Mrag Indra. Indra refers to Raja, king. So who is the Mrag Indra? Animal king. Who is the animal king? Lion. So I am the lion, because lion is also not in good sense, but he's very attractive, isn't it? The giant lion, and he is so powerful. The speed which he runs, that is representation of Krishna's Shakti. And Vanitayas. So Vanitayas refers to the son of Vanita. So Vanita is also one of the wife of Kashyap Rishi. We hear the story of Vanita and Kadru. My son Gaur Gopal sitting here, he call her Kaddu. Vanita and Kaddu. So Vanita and Kadru. So Vanitayas Pakshinam. So amongst all the Pakshis, of all the birds, I am the strongest Garuda. And there's so many nice stories of Garuda in different Puranas. And later on, Lord Vishnu was so impressed with the devotion and power of Garuda, he selected as his career. It's a great position. You've been hired by Lord Vishnu, no one else, Lord Vishnu. Like Aravat is serving Indra, but Garuda is serving Lord Vishnu eternally. So nice. He says, I'm that Garuda. He says, when Garuda flies in the sky, some Veda poetries come out of his wings flapping. So when he flaps the wings, some wave comes out. So auspicious. Next one, we have Vinay Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm driving, sir.
Okay, no problem. No problem, Prabhuji. Prasanna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah. 30th, no, Prabhu?
Yes, 31, Prabhu.
31, okay. Pavana Pavatam Asmi.
Pavana Pavatam Asmi.
Ramashastra Vratam Aham.
Ramashastra Vratam Aham.
Jashana Makaraschasmi.
Jashana Makarchasmi.
Shrotasam Aham Jahnavi.
Shrotasam Asmi Jahnavi.
Of purifiers, I am the wind of the wielders. Sorry, of the purifiers, I am the wind. Of the wielders of weapons, I am Rama. Of fishes, I am the shark. And of flowing rivers, I am the Ganges.
So Pavana, Pavan refers to again Pavana Putra, wind, air. Pavatas, so Pavatas refers to Pavan, to purify. So I am of the purifiers, I am the Pavan. So if you put anything in the Pavan, they gets purified. Ramaha, Lord Ram, Shastra Vratam Aham. So When he carries the weapon, he's saying he is the best one amongst the carrier of the weapons. Jashranam Prabhupada writes of all the fishes, I am the makara. Makara refers to shark. So shark is very, very attractive. The way she comes out of the water, she jumps back, and people sell that skill of shark, isn't it? She comes out, she makes turns in the water. She's very, very attractive. That is Krishna. Shrotasam refers to of flowing rivers. I am Jahanavi, Ganga Devi. Ganga Devi is, you can say, one of the most popular rivers. Without knowing the philosophy, sometimes people considered Ganga actually is higher than even Jamuna, because Ganga is the coming of from the lotus feet of the Lord. Although both versions are there, Ganga is as good as Kalindi, or Ganga is sometimes Kalindi is considered more powerful. Anyway, the point is Janvi or Ganga ji is very, very, very popular. And where does she get the power? Because she's coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. So I am that Ganga. 32. Jai Dharma Prabhu.
Sarga namadir antascha.
Sarga nam adir antascha.
Madhyam chaivaham arjuna.
Madhyam chaivaham arjuna.
Adhyatma vidya vidyananam.
Adhyatma vidya vidyanam.
Vada pavadatam aham.
Vadaha pravadatam aham.
Of all creations, I am the beginning and the end, and also the middle, O Arjuna. Of all sciences, I am the spiritual science of the self, and among logicians, I am the conclusive truth.
Thank you. So Sarganam. So Sarga Prabhupada writes Sarga, Visarga. We know that 10 Lakshan of Bhagavatam. So Sarga refers to creation. Of all the creation, Adir Antascha Madhyam. So I am Adi, I am Anta, and I am the Madhyam. Now this he has said in 1020 as well. Good. In 1020 he says, no, I am the Adi, I am the middle, I am the Anta. Aham Atma Gudakesha, Sarvbhutasha Isthitaha. So Sarganam Adesha. So I am in the creation, I am the Adi, Ant, and the Madhya. Adhyatma Vidya means spiritual knowledge. Sorry, amongst all the Vidyas, I am the spiritual knowledge. Because of all the Vidyas, of all the education or field of knowledge, which is the most important knowledge? Is spiritual knowledge. The knowledge of rocket science and this technical science, computer science, they're all okay. But are they going to take us back to Godhead? No. Adhyatma Vidya, spiritual knowledge is the most important. If everything is destroyed, Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj said, we should just carry our spiritual books. In his spiritual books, he said, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. He said, because everything else can be reproduced by these three books. Vada Pravatam Aham. So we have Vad, and Vad Prabhupada writes is the natural conclusion of any argument. So what's the, if you have having any arguments, good discussion or bad discussion, whatever you want to call it, whatever the Vad. Vad also refers to the philosophy. We have Maya Vad, Brahma Vad, this Vad and that Vad. So what is the Vad? What's the philosophy of that particular school? So Prabhupada, among logicians, I am the conclusive truth. What is the natural conclusion of that argument? Next one, 33, we have Rasanand Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Aksharam nam akarosmi.
Aksharanam akarosmi.
Dhyandva samashikashaya.
Dvandaha samasikasya cha.
Aham eva kshaya kalo.
Aham eva kshaya kalo.
Dathanam vishvato mukham.
Dhataham vishvato mukhaha.
Of letters, I am the letter A, and among compound words, I am the dual compound. I am also inexhaustible time, and of creators, I am Brahma.
So Aksharanam, so there are many Akshar in Hindi or Sanskrit, say ka, ka, ga, ga, a, I, u, u. All these things are this akaro asmi. So a is the most used syllable you can say among Sanskrit. So every word will have a. So Krishna says, I am that akar asmi. Dvanda samasika sicha. So there are different types of samas. Samas is like, you can say, the jewelry of the poem. So many poets use this different samas to just intensify the meaning of their poetry. So I can't remember, to be very honest, when I was in year 12 and year 10 as well. So we were taught in UP board. Anyone from UP board here? I'm from UP board. So we have read all these samas and sandhis when we were young. So I can't remember the different types. There's 6 or 7 different types of samas. So Dvanda sama. Dvanda samas means the two words which come together and represents a deeper meaning. Like Charumata is earlier talking about Buddhi Yoga. So two words used separately. Buddhi is intelligence, but Buddhi Yoga, much more deeper meaning. So that beautifies the poetry language. That is called Dvanda samas. Krishna says, I'm that. Aham evakshaya kalo. So eva refers to certainly, and akshay. Akshay refers to akshay, not chay, not destroyed. Who is that? Kala. I am the akshay kal. I am the kal. And we also read kal is the most prominent in subduing something. So kal is akshay. Now everything else will be destroyed. Will kal be destroyed? Will kal be destroyed in the material world? Never. Kal will always be there and keep doing his job. So you, me, this building will not be there. Kal will still be there. Time will still be there. So Prabhupada writes, I am also inexhaustible time. So time never stops. Time never gets exhausted. Time never say, I'm so tired today. Let me stop. Time ever stops for anyone? For me, it doesn't. I'm not sure about others. It's called inexhaustible. Never gets exhausted. It exhausts us, but it never gets exhausted. Dhata ham. So dhata refers to Mata, Dhata, Pitamaha. We read that for Krishna as well. So dhata is the one who is sustaining, creator. Prabhupada writes here, Vishwato Mukhaha. So I am the Brahma. Okay, let's move forwards. 1034. Where were we? Charu Mataji. You're getting lots of turns today.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Mrityu sarva haraschaham.
Mrityu sarva haraschaham.
Udbhavascha bhavishyatam.
Udbhavascha bhavishyatam.
Kirti shrir vakacha narinam.
Kriti Shri Vakachanarinam.
Smritir medha dhriti kshama.
Smritir medha dhriti shama.
Translation: I am all devouring death, and I am the generating principle of all that is yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience. Wow.
Yeah, see, that's why it came to you. Okay, it's a beautiful verse. So 1025, 1034, I'm not sure, Rupam Prabhu is not here. He will tell the key verses list, but 1025 and 1034, you can take a main note here, because there's a Mrityu Sarva Haraschaham, very popular reference, and Yajnanam Jap Yagyosmi, so 1025. So please remember these two references, very, very popular. So Mrityu Sarva Haraschaham. So in this material world, some thief may steal away your cash or jewelry or the house or whatever, but who will steal the everything? Mrityu, death. When the death comes, you cannot carry anything with you. Keshav Maharaj was saying in one of the classes, he said, even you cannot carry your beads with you. You say, oh, for a devotee, beads are everything. We are chanting Hare Krishna on the beads. Even that you cannot carry. What you can carry at the death? Your consciousness, which you have purified through those beads. He was showing the sannyas danda. I cannot carry the sannyas danda. So the consciousness which has been purified by these things. That's why we should take full benefit of these things to purify us as much as possible. Mrityu sarva harasham. Mrityu, death, will take everything away. Udbhavascha bhavishyatam. Bhavishya refers to future. Udbhava refers to creation. So whatever is going to come in future, I am that. So one example is given. If a child comes in your family, do you think that husband or wife are responsible for bringing the child? Okay, they are not the ultimate cause, isn't it? Many times we see, Bhagavatam gives the example of Chitraketu Maharaj. It says he had 60 crore wives. I don't know how does it work, but that's what Bhagavatam says. Chitraketu Maharaj has 60 crore wives, and it says Maharaj was okay, Chitraketu Maharaj was okay, wives are okay, but the child was not coming. So what it proves basically, when a living entity comes in a family, in any family, it's not just the male and female coming together. It's Krishna's sanction which comes, and then the madhyam, the medium, becomes those male and female. So Krishna's sanction is the most important one. Otherwise, all the ticks you can tick, everything is fine, 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 but result is not coming. Krishna is not sanctioning the result. Now, these two lines are very beautiful, which Charu Mataji was reading. Nari Nam, so Naris will be very happy. Nari means woman, Nar means man. So let's read the deeper meaning of this. So Nari, let's read the first meaning first. So Nari Nam, what are the qualities are given? So now Krishna has given many people or persons so far. Now he's giving qualities. These are the qualities. What are the qualities Krishna is talking? We'll see. Kirti. Kirti refers to fame. Shri. Shri refers to beauty, opulence, wealth. Vak refers to very good speech. Many people are very good in speaking. Many good have lot of beauty. Many beautiful people are around us, and we identify them. I don't know much, but Mr. Universe, Miss Universe, Miss India, Miss this and Miss that. So, or opulence. Opulence means power. Many powerful people are around. Vak example is Hitler. Hitler was giving a speech. By his speeches, he could change the mind of millions of people. Many times, some people speak. Bhakti Charu Maharaj is giving class in Sydney Temple one day, I don't know, 10 years ago, and Maharaj was giving a funny example. He said, if Amitabh Bachchan was giving Srimad Bhagavatam class, he said, 1 lakh people will come, may come. He said, Maharaj said, 1 lakh people may come, but how many hearts he can change? So the number of people attending the class does not mean anything about the speaker, to be very honest. The people are coming for the speakers for so many different reasons. So he says, we are not here for numbers. He said something like that. I can't remember the exact words, but Maharaj said, we are not here for numbers. We are here to change the heart. That's very nice. So Maharaj or sannyasis or devotees like him, they are traveling for one purpose, for changing the heart of people. So Vak Shakti is there, given by Krishna. Given by Krishna. Smriti means memory. We have Smriti Shastra, Shruti Shastra. Some people have very great Smriti. Some people have no Smriti, like me. I was speaking to Viraj Prabhu yesterday on some topic, and he had learned a verse, which I thought, Prabhu, I can't even read that verse, and he was quoting that verse in the class. And Prabhu said, Prabhuji, I took 1 month to learn the verse. I said, at least you learned in 1 month. I can never learn that verse. So difficult to even speak that verse. And Prabhu just very nicely quoting that verse left, right, center. So he has that Smriti power. Devkinanda Prabhu as well, one of those photogenic memories. Medha refers to intelligence. Smriti refers to this photogenic. Medha refers to intelligence. Some people are super intelligent, super powerful. Dhrati refers to firmness, steadiness. So Prabhupada writes here, among women, I am fame, fortune, fine speech, vak, memory, smriti, intelligence, medha, steadfastness, dhrati. So dhrati, I think Prabhupada writes with patience. So Shama, sorry. Shama is the patience one, last one. Dhrati is steadfastness. So among women, why Krishna is saying among Narinam? No, man doesn't have this. So the deeper meaning, our acharyas explained that a nari means generally, naris are supposed to have, women should have these qualities, but generally women may have or may not have. But the woman who has these qualities, all of them, fame, fortune, fine speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and patience, as for the Vedic culture we're talking, obviously, is very attractive. So Nari in Vedic culture was not just Rupavati, she was Gunavati. So Gunas was considered much more than Rupa. Ajkal, modern days, only Rupa is considered higher. But in Vedic culture, it was Guna, the qualities. These are the qualities which when a Nari have, she is considered a Shrestha Nari, very great Nari, very great woman. So they are the characteristic which it should have. And one more point which our acharyas write here. So when we write among women, so there are some qualities which are considered like masculine qualities, some are feminine qualities. So these qualities are considered feminine qualities. It does not mean men cannot have fame, they cannot have fortune or fine speech and all those things they can have, but they are the quality itself, because in Shastra, they are considered Striling, Pulling, and the Punsakling. So their lingas associated with the qualities as well. So from that perspective, Krishna is speaking. Okay, next one. Oh, I can see it's 5:51, so let's stop here. So we'll continue our discussion. There are few more verses of the Vibhutis, and there's sort of a conclusion which Krishna gives towards the end of the chapter. which we'll cover next time. So we'll take it later. Any quick questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, just a comment. You were asking about verses for memorization. So chapter 10, the 34 is not there. The last verse for memorization for chapter 10 is 10.10.
10.10. Hari bol. आप लोग के ऐश है ना? You're enjoying. Anyway, please remember these two references, 1034 and 1025. Very good for preaching and for ourselves as well. Because people ask this question, कहाँ लिखा है यज्ञ? Where is the yajna written in Bhagavad Gita? Where is japa written in Bhagavad Gita? It's clearly mentioned. Krishna saying, I'm that yajna. Okay, let's stop here. Sundar Prabhu, any announcements?
No, probably there's no significant announcement apart from the one that you sent in the message about the examination for module 2.
Okay, yes, thank you. That's a significant one. So, 30th July, please make a note in your diaries, make yourself free. We'll have most probably the exam on 30th of July, and we'll try to catch up everything else before the exam. There's only one short assignment left for you guys, so which I would expect roughly if you can submit by end of June, that would be very nice. So like first assignment, sorry, we were a little bit chasing you guys. We're trying to put few things, but we're just trying to set up a principle for everyone. So if you can follow that principle same for the next time, that will be great. It's only one essay needs to be written, and some devotees have submitted 3 essays already. Thank you to them. I'm looking at Satyama Mataji. Mohit Prabhu is here somewhere, was here. He has also submitted. So some devotees have submitted. Charu Mataji as well. So all glories to them. So they don't have to submit the essay, just a short assignment. So you can submit short assignments now or later. You don't have to wait for chapters to get finished. They're very straightforward questions, very few questions. You can do it now, finish it off. And 30th of July, you'll have the exam as we have done in the past. Roughly, 1 to 4, 2 to 5 will decide that time. Same structure, 2 hour written exam, 1 hour verses to be recited. And yeah, that's about it. And if there's a change, we'll obviously notify you if there's something. But I think we can cover that 30th of July because August will be very busy in Janmashtami and other preparations for every devotee. Okay, let's stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hari bol.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.